Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and today on the Hermitcraft server you can tell I've found my way to a remote island here that I might gather some materials for an upcoming idea I had for a build. Now, some of those materials are a little bit sandy and then they get furnaced. You know, they might be real glassy in certain circumstances, but I realize I'm completely unprepared to actually get any of this put together. I don't have a real structure here to store anything in, and I need a ludicrous amount of materials. So, also my inventory is full of garbage. So we're off to like a bad start 100% of the way already. What I'm kind of thinking I'm going to do is I had bread. I should be eating the bread instead of the carrots. I'm going to go ahead and store some of these sand blocks in these furnaces, and then go ahead and start grabbing some sand. Now, in the meantime, once I get enough sand to fill the furnaces initially, we're going to want to run back to the nether with our buckets and quickly gather enough lava to cook the sand that we've already gotten started collecting. So this will be kind of one of those virtuous cycles where we cook more sand, and then we get more lava, and we just kind of keep going until we have a ton of glass. Now, once again, why does Joe Hills need so much glass? I'm sure that it's completely innocent. Completely innocent. No need to be concerned, people. But I'll let you leave your guesses in the comments section below, because I'm probably not actually going to tell you by the end of this episode, because the build for this that I have in mind is so massive, we won't have time to start it today. In fact, it might be a group effort. You know, I've been thinking, it was so fun recording with Cleo the other day, maybe I need to try and do some more collabs with other hermits. But, you know, it's kind of one of those things like, if you ask your friend, hey man, you want to come over to my house and play Frisbee? You don't expect them to, like, have a Frisbee with them. You bring the Frisbee, you know? So if I'm like, hey guys, I have this idea for a structure made entirely of glass, or primarily of glass, that I think will be a real hoot and a holler, you know, I need to really show up with my glass in hand. So, we are going to get to that now. Time skip. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. You can grab all the sand, you can chew through it with your diamond shovel, and then head back to your hovel. It's Joe Hills shovel time. It's a Joe Hills shovel rhyme. The sun is setting, but I am betting. No, wait, I would never bet in Hermitcraft. Covenant score can't corrupt me. I'm Joe Hills, don't interrupt me. I'm gonna grab all of the sand, then I'm gonna scream across the land with a rocket. A shiny explodey thing. My name's Joe Hills and I like to sing, but I also like to not be killed by creepers and spiders and skeletons. So we will quickly retreat as the sun sets. Luckily, I placed a bed. I totally have planned ahead, even though I can't quite land my jumps yet. So here we go, perchance to dream. Here we go, down ladders, it seems. Oh, good. I'm glad I put 2 beds in, so I'm not too close to the monsters. I did it. Okay, next problem. Let's swap out some sand. Time skip. Look at that. The first batch is all done cooking here, so we can just throw in a little bit more sand and a little bit more lava. We can take a little bit more glass, and we can just kind of keep all of this moving along. In the long term, though, this is really a terrible system. You know, if I'm just trying to mess with people by gathering resources once, yeah, maybe this is passable. Maybe I could just say, yeah, this is fine. But you know what? I want to do a lot of things with a lot of glass over the long term. You know, this season isn't over anytime soon. So I'm thinking what I want to do is try to build some sort of better chest and hopper-based smelter right here. Maybe get some walls around it. Maybe put some glass in that wall, or all 4 walls. Maybe we'll do 8 walls. Maybe it'll be an octagon. Let's find out. Time skip. Okay, guys, some exciting news. While I was exploring over here, I found this whole trench just like full of bubbles that want to pull me down into the ocean and keep me there forever. You know, like some sort of terrifying, like, corpse bride type situation. So we're just going to go ahead and leave that be for right now. But I've also begun construction on a temporary shelter here that'll allow us to kind of cook the sand as we go and kind of keep things under control. So we don't have to worry too much about mobs and stuff blowing up our furnace array that was next to the portal over there. That was pretty terrible before. Now, this is arguably also still pretty terrible. We have furnaces and chests, but we don't have any actual hoppers to connect them. And, you know, we have these cool pillars here that look okay. And, you know, a roof where we can kind of climb up and look around and stuff. But what we don't have is a lot of finishing touches. This looks done. It's not. It's not finished. First thing we're going to do, we're going to roll in here and we are going to replace these pillars in this front entrance area with glass because they should be visually distinct. Now, we don't want to like undermine the structural integrity of the building, but luckily glass is actually stronger than terracotta from a compression standpoint, so we're not actually weakening anything there by like replacing those. But now that feels just a little better. I was actually thinking what we might do too is replace all of the ones on this side with it, or possibly all of the ones that are not the corner ones on every side. I'm not 100% sure on that. You guys might be thinking too, though, Joe, why are you using so much nether equipment? Well, you know what? I have a lot of nether brick, it turns out, guys. And I really liked how those lava pillars looked in that other build we did, the mausoleum at Halicarnassus at the battlefield at Hermitcraft 6. But, you know, this just feels like an environment that's maybe better suited for it. And maybe that roof should actually also be... let's swap these panes out with a bit of glass that's a little bit more orange. We actually have a Silk Touch pickaxe for a change. Look at that. It's a prepared Joe Hills for an episode. But you know what? Let me tell you guys something weird that happened to me today. It rained really hard, like a lot. And there's a place where I sometimes cross the street on my way home from work. And that corner or whatever always floods when there's like any rain at all. Like if there's any rain, that entire part of the sidewalk is just underwater, and there's a big dip in the street, and any cars that go past just spray water all over everybody who's standing there. So I know better than to stand there. I stood slightly up the hill from it and got some video though, because there's a really crazy storm in Nashville today. And it turned out that apparently my video was good. Okay, there's still some thunder going on too. I don't know if you can hear that behind me. But, so storm is still rolling through town. But anyway, apparently the video I made of cars splashing water was interesting enough that the Weather Channel, like the National Weather Channel, wanted to use my clip and contacted me via Twitter. Since it was only a 10-second clip, and, you know, it was something that I didn't intend to make a profit off of anyway. I wasn't going to post it to my YouTube. I was just like, oh, you know what? Sure, I guess. But, oh, you know what I'm thinking? Let's real quickly use a bed real quick. I can show you that clip now. Well, I say now. I mean, like, after we go to sleep and wake up. You know, like I tell my daughter, no TV until the morning. So, we're just going to have a quick chance to dream. And then we will enjoy that video. So one last thing we need to do before we go is to actually build several hoppers. Now, of course, you need both chests and iron to do that. So we're going to create a few more of these. Unfortunately, we don't have enough to do an entire array quite yet. But the core concept would be you have stuff that goes into the furnace, stuff that goes to fuel the furnace, and stuff that goes into the exit chest. So, like for example, if we put some fuel into the fuel chest here, it would go into the furnace. And as you can tell, we've got seaweed in there, but if we put it back up here, it would then flood in there. So we'll be able to put all the sand we have in the top chest and just have it roll on through. And all the fuel we have will go in the large chests, and that'll be fine in its own way. So, I'm going to go grab some either kelp or lava fuel. I'm going to grab some more sand, and let's just fly around this thing one more time, just to kind of get a sense of how it turned out. We've got 6 pillars on this side. We've got the little roof thing. I like that it kind of matches the stripes on the mesa here. You know, it's got a combination of the brown and the orange that kind of fits with the natural materials. You know, we are using locally sourced glass, even if the netherrack did come from an ancient and distant dimension. So, this is great. Well, thank you guys all so much for coming out today. It's been a fun time on Hermitcraft. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.